The mind never stops talking, does it? From the moment you wake until sleep finally claims you, there's a voice narrating, judging, planning, worrying, remembering. It tells you what you should have said yesterday, what you must do tomorrow, why that person looked at you that way, whether you're doing enough, being enough, achieving enough. This voice feels so intimate, so personal, that you might believe it is you. But I'm here to tell you something that will change everything. You are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that hears them. And in the space between those thoughts, in that sacred silence, lives a wisdom far more profound than anything your busy mind could ever produce. Your heart has been waiting patiently for you to discover this truth. Right now, as you receive these words, notice what your mind is doing. Is it already jumping ahead, wondering where this is going? Is it making a mental list of things you need to do later? Is it agreeing or disagreeing, comparing this moment to other moments, labeling this experience? The mind cannot help itself. It was designed to think, to solve, to protect you by staying perpetually vigilant. For thousands of years, this served us well. The mind that could anticipate danger, remember where food was found, plan for harsh seasons, that mind kept our ancestors alive. But we no longer live in that world, and yet the mind continues its ancient job with exhausting dedication. It scans for threats that don't exist. It rehearses conversations that will never happen. It replays moments that are already gone, trying to change them, trying to understand them, trying to squeeze some lesson or meaning from their memory. This is not wrong. The mind is not your enemy. But when we live entirely from this mental space, when every decision must be analyzed and every feeling must be explained, we lose access to something essential. Wabi still. Lose access to the heart. The heart doesn't speak in words or logical arguments. The heart speaks in sensations, in knowings that arrive complete and whole, in feelings that carry information beyond what the intellect can process. The heart knows things the mind will never understand through thinking alone. It knows when someone is trustworthy, even if their resume is impressive. It knows when a path is right, even if it doesn't make practical sense. It knows what you truly need, even when your mind is convinced you need something entirely different. But the heart's voice is quiet. It's a whisper beneath the shouting of mental chatter. To hear it, we must first learn to quiet the mind, not silence it completely, that's neither possible nor necessary, but simply turn down its volume, create some space between the thoughts, allow moments of stillness to emerge. In those moments, the heart can finally be heard. In those moments, you remember who you really are beneath all the stories, all the fears, all the endless mental commentary about your life. Take a breath with me now, a deep one drawn all the way down into your belly, and as you release it, see if you can release just a little bit of that mental grip. You don't have to figure anything out in this moment. You don't have to solve any problems or make any decisions. You don't have to be anywhere other than exactly where you are. The mind will protest this invitation. It will tell you that you don't have time for this, that there are important things to think about, that staying busy keeps you safe. Thank the mind for its concern, and breathe anyway. The patterns we carry in our minds are like well-worn paths through a forest. We've walked them so many times that they've become automatic. We don't even notice we're following them anymore. One thought leads to the next in a predictable sequence, and before we know it, we've spiraled into anxiety or replayed an old hurt or convinced ourselves we're not capable of what we desire. These mental patterns were formed over years, sometimes decades. Some we learned from our parents, absorbing their worries and beliefs before we had language to question them. Some we created ourselves in response to pain or disappointment, building protective walls of thought that once served a purpose but now simply imprison us. You might notice that your mind returns again and again to the same themes. Perhaps it's a loop of self-criticism. I'm not good enough, I'm not doing enough, I'm not enough. Perhaps it's a pattern of catastrophizing. What if this goes wrong? What if I fail? What if they leave? What if I lose everything? Perhaps it's a groove of resentment or blame, endlessly reviewing the ways others have wronged you or the ways life has been unfair. These patterns feel true when we're inside them. The mind presents very convincing evidence for why you should keep thinking these thoughts. It shows you memories that prove the pattern. It predicts futures that confirm your fears. It builds an entire case for why this mental loop must continue. But here is what I want you to understand. These thoughts are not facts. They are habits. And habits can be changed, not through force or willpower, but through gentle awareness and persistent redirection. The first step is simply noticing. When you catch yourself in a familiar mental pattern, pause. Don't judge it. Don't try to push it away. Just notice. Ah, there's that thought again. There's that old story. There's that familiar worry. In the noticing, you create a tiny space between you and the thought. You remember that you are not the thought. You are the one observing it. And in that space, something shifts. Your body has been trying to help you quiet your mind all along. The body exists only in the present moment. It cannot be in yesterday or tomorrow. Right now, your body is breathing, your heart is beating, sensations are arising and passing, all without any mental effort from you. When the mind is spinning, caught in its loops and patterns, the body offers you an anchor. Bring your attention to your breath. You don't need to change it or control it. Simply notice it. Feel the coolness of air entering your nostrils. Feel your chest or belly expanding. Feel the natural pause at the top of the inhale. Feel the warmth of air leaving your body. Feel the softening that comes with each exhale. The mind will wander. This is not failure. This is simply what minds do. When you notice you've been pulled back into thinking, gently return your attention to the breath. No criticism needed, no frustration, just a soft return again and again. Each time you return, you're strengthening your capacity for presence. You're training yourself to recognize when the mind has taken over and to consciously choose to come back to the body, back to now, back to the only moment where peace actually exists. Notice your shoulders right now. Are they up near your ears, tight with tension? Let them drop. Roll them back and down. Feel the release. Notice your jaw. Are you clenching? Let it soften. Even part your lips slightly if that helps. Notice your belly. Are you holding it in, keeping it tight? Let it relax. You are safe enough in this moment to soften. The body holds so much of the mind's anxiety. When we release physical tension, we often find that mental tension releases too. They're intimately connected, body and mind, and always communicating with each other in languages we rarely stop to translate. Place a hand on your heart. Feel its steady rhythm beneath your palm. This heart has been beating since before you took your first conscious breath. It beats while you sleep, while you worry, while you dream, while you doubt yourself. It doesn't need your permission or your management. It knows what to do. And in the same way, your heart's wisdom knows what's true for you. It knows what brings you alive and what diminishes you. It knows who feels safe and who doesn't. It knows what you need, even when your mind is convinced you need something else entirely. But to access this knowing, you must first create space for it to emerge. The mind is addicted to knowing. It wants certainty, solid plans, guaranteed outcomes. It wants to figure everything out before taking a single step. It wants to understand why things happened and predict what will happen next. This need to know feels productive, feels responsible, feels like the smart way to navigate life. But the truth is that most of life cannot be figured out in advance. Most of what we worry about never happens. Most of our careful plans get redirected by forces beyond our control. And the outcomes we're certain we want often turn out to be exactly what we didn't need. When we release our grip on needing to know, something miraculous happens. We become available to life as it actually unfolds, rather than as we think it should unfold. We become open to possibilities we never would have imagined. We become receptive to guidance from deeper sources, from intuition, from coincidence, from the mysterious intelligence that seems to orchestrate events in ways our limited minds could never plan. The mind hates this. It experiences this release as dangerous, as irresponsible. It will tell you that you must know, you must plan, you must control, or everything will fall apart. But look at your life honestly. How often has your planning actually prevented pain? How often has your endless analysis actually created the clarity you sought? How often has your need to control actually made you feel more in control? For most of us, the answer is humbling. We plan and worry and figure and analyze, and life does what it does anyway. Not because we're doing it wrong, but because life is inherently unpredictable, because we are participating in something far larger than our individual concerns. Because there is an intelligence at work that we can either resist with mental effort or collaborate with through trust. What if you could say to yourself, I don't need to figure this out right now? What if you could meet uncertainty with curiosity instead of anxiety? What if you could hold your plans lightly, knowing they're just one possible path among thousands? The mind will immediately generate all the reasons why this is naive or irresponsible. Notice those thoughts, breathe, and ask yourself, is this true, or is this just my mind doing what it always does, trying to protect me by staying in control? The heart speaks a different language than the mind. The mind speaks in words, in logic, in reasons and justifications. The heart speaks in feelings, in sensations, in subtle knowings that arrive without explanation. You've experienced this, even if you haven't named it. You've walked into a room and immediately felt uncomfortable even though nothing visible was wrong. You've met someone and instantly trusted them even though you knew nothing about their background. You've made a decision that made no logical sense but felt absolutely right in your body. This is the heart speaking. But we've been trained to distrust this language. We've been taught that feelings are unreliable, that only logic and reason should guide us, that emotional decisions are mistakes waiting to happen. So we override what the heart tells us. We ignore the uncomfortable feeling and stay in the situation because it looks good on paper. We reject the unexpected opportunity because our plan was different. We silence our enthusiasm because we can't justify it rationally. And then, later we say, I knew it, I felt it. Why didn't I listen? The heart's language becomes clearer when the mind is quieter. In stillness, you start to notice the subtle signals, a warmth in your chest when something resonates with truth, a tightness when something feels wrong, a lightness when you're moving in alignment with your deepest self, a heaviness when you're betraying what you know. These signals are always present, but they're easily drowned out by mental noise. They're overshadowed by should and must and what will people think and what if I'm wrong. When you practice quieting your mind, even for a few moments each day, you begin to attune to this heart language. You begin to trust it. You begin to let it guide you. This doesn't mean abandoning reason or logic. The mind has its place and its gifts. But when the heart and mind work together, with the heart guiding and the mind serving, life flows with much less struggle. Decisions become clearer. Relationships feel more authentic. Your path reveals itself not through endless analysis, but through attentive listening to what feels true in your body, in your heart, in the deepest part of you that knows. Sit quietly for a moment. Let your attention rest in the center of your chest. Breathe into that space and ask yourself a simple question about something you're currently facing. Don't ask it with your mind. Don't analyze possible answers. Just pose the question gently and notice what arises. Maybe it's a sensation, maybe it's a feeling, maybe it's an image or a knowing. Whatever comes, receive it without judgment. This is the beginning of dialogue with your heart. This is how you start to rebuild trust in your own inner guidance. Creating space for inner silence doesn't require hours of meditation or retreating from the world, though those can be beautiful practices. It requires small, conscious moments woven into the fabric of your ordinary days. It's the 30 seconds of deep breathing before you get out of your car and walk into work. It's the pause before you respond to a difficult email, giving yourself a moment to feel what's true rather than reacting from old patterns. It's the evening ritual of sitting in a comfortable chair, perhaps with tea, perhaps in silence, simply being present with yourself rather than immediately turning on screens or filling the quiet with noise. These moments accumulate. They train your nervous system to recognize what peace feels like. They remind your body that it's safe to slow down, that you don't have to be in constant motion or constant mental activity to be okay. They create tiny islands of presence in the river of doing and thinking that usually carries you along without pause. Over time, these islands grow. You find yourself naturally pausing more often. You catch yourself in the middle of a mental spiral and consciously choose to breathe instead. You notice beauty you would have walked past before because your mind was too busy. You hear the wisdom of your heart more clearly because you've made space for it to speak. One powerful practice is simply this. Several times throughout your day, stop and notice 3 things you can perceive with your senses right now. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel on your skin? This takes perhaps 10 seconds, but in those 10 seconds, you've interrupted the mental momentum. You've brought yourself back to now. You've reminded yourself that life is happening in this moment, not in the past you're reviewing or the future you're worried about. This simple practice, repeated consistently, can transform your relationship with your own mind. Another practice is to establish a morning moment before you engage with the world. Before you check your phone, before you review your to-do list, before you begin the day's activities, sit on the edge of your bed or in a comfortable chair. Place your hands on your heart. Take 3 deep breaths and set an intention for how you want to meet this day. Not what you want to accomplish, but how you want to be. I choose to be present. I choose to be kind to myself. I choose to listen to my heart. I choose to trust. Just a moment, but it orients your entire day differently. And at night, before sleep, a moment of gratitude. Not a mental list of things you should be grateful for, but a felt sense of appreciation. Bring to mind one moment from the day when you felt even a flicker of peace, of joy, of connection, of love. Let yourself feel it again. Let the warmth of that memory spread through your body. This tells your nervous system that good things are present in your life, that it's safe to relax, that not everything is struggle and problem solving. Over time, this practice actually rewires your brain to notice the good more readily, to create more moments worth savoring. Even with practices in place, you'll encounter resistance. The mind doesn't give up its dominance easily. Just when you're settling into a few moments of quiet, it will suddenly remember something urgent. It will present a problem that absolutely must be solved right now. It will generate anxiety about wasting time, sitting here breathing when you could be being productive. It will judge you for needing these practices, suggesting that you should be more naturally peaceful, more enlightened, further along than you are. This resistance is normal. It's not a sign that you're doing it wrong. It's simply the mind doing what it does, trying to maintain control. When resistance arises, meet it with gentleness. Don't make it another problem to solve. Don't berate yourself for having a busy mind. Instead, acknowledge it. Yes, I notice the mind is very active right now. I notice these urgent thoughts appearing. I notice the impulse to get up and do something. And then, if you can, stay anyway. Keep breathing. Keep coming back to the body. Keep creating space for stillness, even when the mind is shouting that this is pointless or impossible, or that you're too broken or busy for this to work for you. Sometimes the resistance shows up as physical restlessness. You suddenly need to scratch an itch, shift position, check the time. This too is normal. The body, influenced by the agitated mind, wants to move, to do, to escape the discomfort of simply being. Again, gentleness. Notice the restlessness. Breathe into it. See if you can be with the discomfort for just a few more breaths before you move. Not as a harsh discipline, but as a kind curiosity about what happens when you don't immediately react to every impulse. Other times the resistance appears as emotion. Sadness surfaces, anger bubbles up, fear becomes suddenly present. When the mind finally quiets, the feelings we've been thinking our way around can emerge. This is actually a gift, though it doesn't always feel like one. These emotions have been waiting to be acknowledged and released. They've been stored in your body, creating tension and dis-ease because you've been too busy thinking to feel them. When they arise in stillness, breathe with them. Let them move through you. Emotions are called that because they're meant to be in motion, energy in motion, not stored, not suppressed, not thought about endlessly, but felt and released. The transformation that follows opening your heart and quieting your mind isn't dramatic in the way movies would suggest. There's no single moment of enlightenment where everything suddenly makes sense and you never struggle again. Instead, the transformation is subtle and accumulating. You notice that you're less reactive in situations that used to trigger you immediately. You find yourself responding to challenges with more groundedness, less panic. You make decisions with more ease because you've learned to feel what's right rather than mentally constructing elaborate pro-con lists that still leave you confused. Your relationships begin to shift. When you're not constantly lost in your own mental narratives, you become more present with others. You actually hear what they're saying rather than preparing your response while they're still talking. You perceive needs and feelings beneath the words because you're not filtering everything through your own anxious thinking. You bring a quality of calm attention that others feel and respond to, often without either of you being able to name what's different. You become more creative. The quiet mind makes space for new ideas, fresh perspectives, unexpected solutions. You've probably noticed that your best insights don't come while you're actively trying to figure something out. They come in the shower, on a walk, in that drowsy space between waking and sleeping, moments when your analytical mind has relaxed its grip. As you practice quieting your mind intentionally, you create more opportunities for these insights. You become a channel for intelligence that's wiser than your individual thinking. You experience more synchronicity. Events seem to align in helpful ways. The right person appears at the right time. An opportunity emerges just as you need it. The book that contains exactly what you need to hear somehow finds its way to you. This isn't magic, though it can feel magical. It's that when you're operating from an open heart and a quiet mind, you're more attuned to the subtle guidance that's always available. You notice the connections, you follow the intuitive nudges, you're receptive to what's being offered rather than being so caught up in your own plans that you miss the gifts. Your relationship with yourself deepens and softens. The harsh self-criticism that the busy mind generates so effortlessly begins to quiet. In its place, a natural self-compassion emerges, not because you're trying to think more positive thoughts, but because, in the stillness, you remember your essential worth. You remember that you're doing your best with what you know, that you're growing, that you're allowed to be imperfect and still completely valuable. The heart doesn't judge the way the mind judges. The heart holds you with the same tender regard it would offer to a beloved child. Nothing you could do or fail to do would change its fundamental love for you. Living from a quiet center becomes not something you do, but something you are. It's no longer a special practice you engage in occasionally, separate from your real life. It becomes woven into how you move through your days. You might be in the middle of a busy workday, and you'll notice you're back in your head, caught in a mental loop. And almost automatically now, you'll pause, take a breath, drop into your body, reconnect with your heart. This might take 5 seconds. No one around you even notices. But you've interrupted the pattern. You've remembered yourself. You've chosen presence over automatic thinking. This doesn't mean you stop thinking. You still plan, analyze, solve problems, make decisions. But thinking becomes a tool you use consciously rather than a compulsion that uses you. You can think when thinking is useful, and you can set thinking aside when it's not. You're no longer at the mercy of every thought that arises. You've reclaimed your authority. You've remembered that you are not the voice in your head. You are the spacious awareness in which that voice appears and disappears. From this quiet center, you begin to sense your connection to something larger than yourself. Some call it the universe, some call it God, some call it life or spirit or simply love. The name matters less than the felt experience of it. When the mind is quiet and the heart is open, you can feel that you're not separate, not isolated, not alone in trying to figure everything out and keep everything together. You're held. You're part of a vast intelligence that has been orchestrating galaxies and seasons and the growth of trees for billions of years. That same intelligence is working through your life, guiding you toward your highest good even when the path makes no sense to your limited understanding. This knowing doesn't come from belief or philosophy, it comes from direct experience in moments of stillness. You feel it as a presence, a warmth, a sense of being accompanied even when you're physically alone. You sense it in the way things work out, often in ways you never could have planned. You recognize it in the wisdom that arises from your heart when your mind doesn't know what to do. This connection has always been there. You haven't created it through your practice. You've simply cleared away enough mental noise to finally notice what was always present, always available, always supporting you. And from this place of connection, of quiet mind and open heart, you discover that you have something precious to offer the world. Not your doing, though your actions matter. Not your achieving, though you may accomplish much, but your presence, your groundedness, your capacity to be still in a world that's spinning frantically, your ability to listen when everyone else is talking, your willingness to feel when others are numbing, your choice to trust when fear would have you control. This is what the world needs from you, not one more person lost in anxious thinking, but someone who has found the quiet center and learned to live from there. The journey from a busy mind to a quiet heart is not a destination you reach and then you're done. It's a practice you return to again and again, each time deepening, each time discovering new layers. Some days the quiet comes easily. Other days the mind is relentless and stillness feels impossible. Both are fine. Both are part of being human. What matters is that you keep choosing. You keep pausing. You keep breathing. You keep coming back to the body, back to the heart, back to now. You are so much more than your thoughts. You are the awareness that witnesses them, the space in which they arise, the love that exists before any story is told. Your heart knows this. Your heart has always known this. It's been waiting patiently for you to quiet down enough to hear its truth. And now you know the way. Not a complicated way, not a far-off way, but a simple return that's always available. Breath by breath, moment by moment, you can choose presence over thinking, trust over control, heart over head. And in that choosing, everything shifts. The peace you're seeking isn't somewhere in the future after you've figured everything out or fixed everything that seems wrong. It's here, in this moment, in the space between your thoughts, in the wisdom of your heart. It's been here all along, waiting for you to come home.